Hi Aquarius, this is Morgan with Compass Rose Astrology, and today we are going to be going through the astrology and the tarot of the month of May 2023. And in these videos, I go through the transits and aspects that you might be experiencing the most and how they will be possibly showing up in your life. And then we tie it in with the tarot story. And then last but not least, I choose an oracle card for you from the universe to tie in any last messages that the universe might be wanting to convey to you. And you'll see that Aquarius is over here on the rising sign, on the first house and the ascendant. I do these videos from the rising sign perspective. So take what resonates and leave, what doesn't, because it is a general reading. And also, with that being said, if nothing resonates here for you, feel free to watch your sun or your moon video, because those might be activated most for you this month, depending on what's happening in your birth chart in relation to all these transits and planets and all these movements. And I also want to say, I know that this isn't our regular kind of setup, but next month, I promise, we'll be back to our normal kind of setup here. And this also means I don't have my cleansing tools or anything. So before this video, I did a pre-shuffle and I called in positive energy to bring in the most clear, constructive messages for you, Aquarius, and also kind of cleared the air of any negative energy that might be around for you, so that we can get the best messages for you here. And I'll just jump right into the astrology here for you. We're going to talk through the very first thing that happens this month. On May 1st, we have Pluto, which is going to start moving retrograde in your first house, and we'll finally move out of it back into Capricorn in the month of June. But basically for the month of May, anything that you might have experienced since Pluto first entered your house, it might feel a little slower, a little more reversed, like you might have to go and kind of revisit some things that you might have experienced in the last couple weeks. And it will finally move back up into your 12th house just for a little bit. And it's going to keep doing that over the next year or so. Pluto is a really slow moving planet, and it is probably going to take a little bit of time before it finally ends up in your first house for 20 years. And yeah, so it's just a little just to let you know that Pluto is going to be moving retrograde and moving back out of your first house. I think one important thing for you here is that Saturn, you're ruled by Saturn, Aquarius, and Saturn's over here in your second house, and we'll be hanging out here for a while. And then finally making a conjunction with Neptune. But one major thing that we have also at the beginning of the month on the 5th, we have a full moon eclipse in Scorpio, which is up here in your 10th house. And this is going to be kind of bringing in the end of these Taurus and Scorpio eclipses. We did already start with a solar eclipse over here in Aries in April. So this is just kind of tying up that 2-week cycle. And the kind of fun thing about that is that the Aries eclipse and the Scorpio eclipse are both ruled by Mars. And Mars is hanging out over here in Cancer in your 6th house, but will be moving up here into your 7th house. And that could be fun. It could be, could bring some fire and light the fire of your life over there in your house of relationships and partnerships. Could also indicate a bit of some heated exchanges as well. But nothing to be worried about. I think Mars just brings in a really fun flavor to our motivation and our inspiration. So that we'll see if that lights up in our tarot reading. We also have Jupiter over here going to be moving into your 4th house of Taurus, and will be here for the next year until May 25th. So we'll see if that shows up. And then we have Venus moving out of Gemini and into Cancer as well. So you have a lot going on, and let's see which ones are going to be lit up for you most. Thank you, Spirit, so much for your messages and for your guidance. Do you have any clarification on what Aquarius has been going through, what they were feeling leading up to this transit? Okay. Okay, And we have one more card for what Aquarius has been experiencing. Okay. So, Spirit did direct me to look at the bottom of the deck here for you, and we have the Eight of Pentacles, and I feel like there's been, whatever you're experiencing and whatever you're going through, I feel like you feel maybe like you're plodding away with no end in sight, or there's been a lot of hard work on your part and you're not sure how it's going to, or if it will actually return to you in any way, if it actually makes any difference. And that's kind of a hard energy to kind of be stuck in, Aquarius, if that's what you're feeling. Either way, you are a really hard worker and very, very motivated, and very kind of nose to the grindstone kind of a person. We do have the Six of Swords, we have the Seven of Cups, and then we have the Justice card. And so what I'm seeing activated most for you here is the sense of so it's mostly going to be happening. So this could have been involved with like the Taurus eclipses that are we're going to have one more by the end of the year. So it could be indicative of that, and your 5th house and 6th house. So I think these three houses, possibly 4 with Scorpio, these are going to be activated most for you. So it's more about, there's this sense of your foundations, what you kind of came into this life with, in terms of your ancestry, your family, and also your creative kind of output and how that maybe reflects materialistically in your life. And what I'm seeing here is that perhaps you had to make a decision in the most recent past about, and so I'm really getting, this is my card of the inner child, basically. And you might have been feeling like you had to move away from something in order to kind of heal a part of you that never really got noticed or got any attention and never was really supported. And I think that that's what's happening here. There's major transition vibes here, and I think that you were forced, or that you are being faced or have been faced with a decision where you weren't sure what the right choice was, but you made a decision to kind of move away from something that was really not benefiting you, and you wanted to get away from it before it could hurt you because you weren't entirely sure how the outcome would be, or if you were sure, you could see that it wasn't a positive outcome. You knew that you were not going to be happy, you knew that you were not going to be successful, or you knew that you couldn't maintain a certain lifestyle that other people were expecting you to maintain. And maybe there was this kind of sense here of creativity, could be some sort of like writing or emotional kind of creative output that you have, that you had to decide to either put forth or put behind you as well, because, or maybe use that to kind of express the things that you were experiencing in this situation. And the Justice card showing up for you here, this is the Libra card, so possibly this is something that you will be experiencing until the nodes fully move into Aries and Libra. But I think that there was a choice that had to be made on your part, and it was revolved around leaving something behind, and there had to be just this kind of line drawn for you. Yeah, okay, let's see what next. What is Aquarius currently experiencing? What is Aquarius currently experiencing? What is Aquarius currently experiencing? Let's see. Thank you so much, Spirit. I greatly appreciate your guidance and your messages and your help. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Ace of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Let's see. So what is happening here is that whatever choice you made, see, we have the cup coming up underneath the Seven of Cups. So whatever decision, whatever choice you had to make was the right one. And I know you know it was the right one. Perhaps there was a little bit of like anticipation or like feeling like you were, like you just had to move away from something. I don't think there was any regret. There was a feeling of maybe like guilt possibly, or just feeling kind of cold and disconnected, but you kind of had to make this decision. It was the best for you. And so I really do think this is happening over here in your 4th and your 5th house. So there's some sort of a creative part of you. This could even be like maybe children, like maybe you're doing something to better your children or better your future or better their future. If you don't have children, this could be like just being helpful for your sake, you know, and being kind to you and your future. But whatever creative maybe output, whatever choice you had to make, whatever you walked away from, this is allowing you to move out of this energy of being alone and bound and obligated, and it's allowing you to move forward with a sense of righteousness and self-dignity. I do think that this is a really beautiful kind of compassionate air that you have around yourself right now, and that's incredibly important for you. There's like a kind of a springing of new feelings and new emotions, new inspiration happening for you, and it's bringing you kind of forward into maybe more people's eyes than you had anticipated, maybe more people than you had previously experienced. Like if this is a job, maybe it's like you had to make a choice to take on a new job or take a different promotion or walk away from like some coworker or whatever that was like kind of toxic towards you, and it's kind of putting you in a situation where you have to like work with all new people, but it's taking you out of this like Eight of Swords bound, constricted, obligated, like I mean sad is like it is like the word that's coming to mind, but it really can just be that. It can be like feeling like you aren't seen, aren't helped, aren't supported, and are all alone, and this decision that you've had to make is taking you out of that energy, which is really, really wonderful and also inspiring and allowing you to feel like something that you haven't felt in a really long time. Like it might be more excitement and inspiration and motivation that you haven't felt in a while. What is Aquarius? What do they have to look forward to? Whoops, let's not take half the deck. Okay, thank you, Spirit, so much for your messages. What does Aquarius have to look forward to? What does Aquarius have to look forward to? Thank you so much, Spirit. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords. So whatever this is happening is coming in quickly for you. This new experience and this new kind of phase. So let's see if I can get some sort of a timing here. So it could be when Mars moves up into your 7th house. Could also be when like Pluto moves back into your 1st, so it might be a couple months from here, but it could be also this month when Mars moves up into Leo. And you have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Strength card, and you have the Knight of Cups. And what we have here, I think this was truly indicative of the fact that we have this Five of Pentacles underneath your Six of Swords, your Eight of Swords, and your Five of Pentacles. So there's truly this fear here of neglect and abandonment and not having enough and lack. And I think that is a big part of something that has followed you for most of your life. A fear, not necessarily a reality, but it is a fear of something that you don't want to have in your life. Like perhaps you feel, and this could even be like, I feel like this is more mental and monetary as well, because sometimes it could indicate like feeling like you don't have much of a community. But I know that Aquarius, I think you feel like you do have that, and I think you do feel strong in your relationships and your ability to make relationships, if that makes sense. And I think you feel strong on your own as well and independent, but there's just this feeling of fear of like not being able to support yourself, maybe not being able to support others. And what you have coming up is you have the Strength card and you have the Knight of Cups. And I think that with the support of this person, the Knight of Cups person, this is an incredibly compassionate, really bonding kind of a person. And they are, so if you're not in a relationship, you could be meeting someone when Mars goes up into Leo, and they could be an incredibly romantic, loving, dedicated person that you weren't kind of expecting to meet. And what it does is it really connects you. And if you are in a relationship, I think there's someone that will kind of bring out the more idealistic side of you that allows you to see the forest for the trees, basically, and allows you to kind of make a connection between this new choice that you made, this new path forward, this new opportunity, this new inspiration and new feelings that you have bubbling up inside of you. It allows you to kind of connect those along with your actual like beliefs, your actual considerations, the things that you want to do with your life, and without fear of not being able to make it, not succeeding, and not and being isolated, basically being without. And so I think this individual, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, it could even be someone that is a very strong personality in your life. Maybe it's someone that you often consider just as much as family as, you know, actual family, but it's a bit of like spreading your emotional support to this person and allowing them to be there for you too. And I think they can kind of see you for who you are and understand some of the decisions that you make. They might understand this about you without you even having to explain it. They might understand that there's a need to move away from this and to move away from being afraid and move away from like this feeling of lack and to make decisions that keep you from this. They might understand that without you even having to say anything. Which is kind of nice, right? It's not like mind reading, but it's just like understanding who you are. Okay, let's see what Oracle has to say. Okay. So we have goat. Ooh, wonderful. Goat. The goat, isn't that the sign of Saturn, I think? So I am going to read to you from the Winterseer Animal Companion Guidebook so that I don't miss any messages for you from Spirit. So goat. Keywords are independence, wildness, temper, fertility, goal achievement, and mischief. Goats are independent-minded and good at surviving in harsh conditions. Goats have long been associated with wildness and fertility, and they are linked to the gods who embody these characteristics. In classical myth, They are sacred to Artemis and our other hunting goddesses, as well as Dionysus, the god of wine and carousing. Pan, the Greek deity who ruled pastures, forests, flocks, and herds, is strongly associated with goats and is celebrated for his licentiousness and lustful behavior. In Norse myth, Thor's chariot is pulled by two powerful goats called the Teeth Bearer and the Teeth Grinder. I'm not going to read the names to you because I know I will butcher it. Every night, Thor would kill the goats and eat them, and then resurrect them from their bones in the morning. They would then resume their employment as chariot pullers. In Kilorglin, Ireland, goats are celebrated every August during the Puck Fair. During this ancient celebration, a wild male goat known as a puck is crowned king of the town for 3 days before being returned to his normal life in the Irish hills. Goats are renowned for their mischievous nature and, likely because of this, have always been associated with magic, dark forces, and the devil. The mischievous fairy spirits called puka often take the form of a black goat, and the devil is thought to appear in the form of a goat with burning coals for eyes. There is a dichotomy present in our dealings with goats. We celebrate their utility and resilience while also vilify them for their wild and woolly natures. In a reading, the goat is a resourceful and resilient creature who can be a useful archetype for entrepreneurs, independent thinkers, and the ambitious, or those who would like to be. The goat is inherently driven to climb and compete with others, to be king of the hill. The spirit of the goat urges us to fight our way to the top and push past competition. The bounding, joyful energy of the goat encourages us to set goals and to smash them. Channel this useful spirit when you need energy and inspiration. Connect to the wildness in yourself and let it push you to achieve new things and inspire others. The goat also reminds us to stay connected to the sensual realm, to value our bodies and physical health, as well as our intellect. Are you neglecting your sexuality, or are you feeling disenfranchised from your physical self? To be at our best, we have to care for ourselves holistically. The mind suffers when the body is neglected, and the body suffers when the spirit is neglected. Always remember the wisdom of balance. Well, Aquarius, I hope that reading actually connected with you and meant something to you, because we have a lot going on here, and I think that this is just kind of like the beginning of some interesting phases for you here, and I really think that this was a wonderful way to end your reading. I want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy to have you here and to do these readings for you. Please leave any comments if you have any stories that might resonate with the astrology and the tarot. And I really, really, truly can't wait to see you in our next video. Thank you so much.